Hello everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Extraordinary Powers. I'm your host, Lao Gao, and today we're diving into an incredibly mysterious and captivating topic: paranormal abilities and the spiritual world. This isn't science fiction. It's based on actual scientific research. And behind it all is a heavyweight figure. Former president of National Taiwan University, Professor Li Sai-chen. Are you ready? Let's pull back the curtain on this strange and fascinating world. Let me first introduce Professor Li Sai-chen. He's a top expert in semiconductors, a true superstar in the world of science. But guess what? In the second half of his life, he did something that shocked everyone. He shifted his focus to Qigong, paranormal abilities, and even the supernatural. It all began with a chance encounter 30 years ago that opened his eyes to another world. He called it the spiritual realm, and for the next 3 decades he used scientific methods to study it deeply. Eventually, he proposed a theory called human body-mind-spirit science. This theory divides human capability into 3 layers: body, mind, and spirit. Today, let's break them down one by one. Part 1. Body, the mystery of Qigong. Let's start with body, meaning Qigong. You may have heard of it, but do you believe Qi actually exists? Professor Li didn't just research it, he practiced it himself. And after a while he realized, whoa, this Qi stuff is very real. He said that our ancestors discovered Qi thousands of years ago. Confucius and Laozi both talked about it. Laozi even said that at the beginning of the universe there was something called Tao, and when it entered certain things, it gave them life. That's Qi. Without Qi, there's no life. Ancient people believed that when Qi flows well, you stay healthy. When it doesn't, illness comes. So they created Qigong, a way to control Qi through practice and achieve harmony with nature. At higher levels, people can even manipulate objects, like moving things without touching them. Sounds far-fetched? But Professor Li tested it using scientific methods and found that Qigong has a real basis. Part 2. Mind, the truth about paranormal powers. Next comes the mind, which refers to psychic or paranormal abilities. You might think this means superhero powers, right? Well, Professor Li says these are actually latent abilities we all have. He studied various abilities like telepathy, clairvoyance, remote viewing, retrocognition, and even precognition, the ability to see the future. These sound like science fiction, but people around you, your teacher, your classmate, maybe even your family, might already have them. Take clairvoyance, for example. It's not about seeing through walls, it's about reading characters using your hands or ears. In 1979, Professor Li heard reports from Sichuan. Over 1,000 kids could read through their ears. Later, Peking University trained 40 kids aged 5 to 14, and 16 succeeded in reading with their fingertips. Even more amazing, at NTU, Professor Li trained 124 children. After just 4 days, 30 of them could read paper strips with their hands inside opaque bags. How? By meditating, placing their hands in the bag and reading the text without seeing it. And they actually got it right. There's also remote viewing. Some could see the far side of the moon or deep space. Others could touch an object and instantly know its history. Japanese TV even asked these people to help locate missing persons, and they actually found clues. The wildest part? Precognition. One kid dreamed of a test paper, and during the real exam, it was exactly the same. Professor Li believes these are extended senses, like a 6th or 7th sense, or even beyond. Some call it mind power, the ability to move things with thought alone. So why doesn't science accept this? Because it's too unstable. In public demonstrations, the success rate is low. Professor Li said it's not fake, just that stress or a changed environment can make the ability stop working. For example, someone could read using paper bags, but if you switch to plastic containers, nothing. Back to paper, it works again. That made people suspicious. But Professor Li argues this proves these abilities go beyond what current science can explain. Part 3. Spirit, the existence of another world. Now comes the most mysterious part, the spirit or the spiritual world. This one might give you goosebumps. In one experiment, Professor Lee's team asked psychic kids to read certain characters. But when it came to religious words like Buddha, Jesus, or Allah, they couldn't see them at all. For example, if the word was Buddha light, they only saw light. If it said Buddha master, they only saw master. Even when these words were written in Tibetan or Hebrew, same result. Some kids saw white light, some heard voices, some even felt a presence talking to them. This made Professor Lee wonder, are these religious terms connected to another realm? In 2001, they ran a bold experiment. A highly gifted child was asked a question, when will humans make contact with alien civilizations? The child heard a voice reply, hasn't contact already happened? Then they asked, where is the nearest alien civilization? The reply, everywhere. Mind blown. Professor Lee calls this realm the information field, a timeless, spaceless network of consciousness, like the cloud of the universe where all civilizations can connect. He believes religious scriptures aren't just symbolic, they're portals to this other realm. Think about it. Confucius, Laozi, and Buddha all appeared around 500 BC. Maybe they were part of a collective ascension who saw the truth of this invisible world. Why can't science explain it? You might ask, if this is so powerful, why doesn't mainstream science accept it? Professor Lee says the root problem lies in science itself. Modern science is based on reductionism, breaking complex things into parts to understand them, like dismantling a car or dissecting a body. But when it comes to quantum mechanics, reductionism fails. Things like consciousness and qi can't be divided, so current science gets stuck. He believes the ancients might have understood the universe better because they explored meaning and essence, while we're trapped in rigid education systems that reject anything unreasonable as fake. Conclusion: what should we believe? After hearing this story, my own mind is totally blown. Professor Lee's research shows that paranormal abilities and the spiritual world may not be fantasy, but rather a hidden part of human potential. Maybe, just maybe, we can all reach a higher dimension through practice. So next time before an exam, why not try placing a Buddha charm on your desk or write Buddha on a sticky note? Maybe you'll connect to the cosmic Wi-Fi. Just kidding. All right, that's it for today's episode of Extraordinary Powers. What did you think of this story? Do you believe in paranormal abilities? Have you experienced something mysterious yourself? Leave a comment below and don't forget to like and subscribe to the Mystic Files. See you next time.